Let's do another problem together. My video got stopped unexpectedly. Now, this one we're going to do some work together. I'm going to get you started and you're going to actually solve it. So let's first start by multiplying our whole numbers. So you're first going to multiply 4 times 2. You can do that. Then 4 times our fraction, 3/8. Then you can put your answers together. I want you to pause your video now, see if you can solve this. So solve our first part of multiplying and then our second multiplication step. Then put those two answers together for your total. Once you've done that, turn your video back on and I'll go over the steps for you to see if you solved it correctly. All right, if I was going to be multiplying my whole numbers first, 4 times 2, that should be 8. Then multiply my whole number times my fraction, 3/8. So multiply my numerators and then my denominators. That gives me an improper fraction. I have to figure out how many times does 8 go into 12. 8 can go into 12 only one time. And then that would leave me with 4 left over, and 8 stays as the denominator. And remember, 4/8 is the same as a half, so 1 and 4/8 is the same or equivalent to 1 and 1/2. Because remember, 4 is half of 8. So 1/2 would be 4/8 shown in its simplest form or in lowest terms. Then you can add together your first product, 8, plus your second product, 1 and 1/2, or 1 and 4/8. It would work out the same. Don't worry about that. And your total would be 9 and 1/2. So if you got 9 and 1/2, or you wrote it as 9 and 4/8, that would be okay too. Give yourself a pat on the back because you got that first one right. Now I'm going to give you this one, 6 times 3 and 4/5. And you need to solve this one completely on your own. Think about what you multiply first, then multiply second. Make sure you have no improper fractions. Then add your two products together. I want you to pause the video now and see if you can solve this one on your paper totally by yourself. Because if you can do this one totally by yourself, you should be able to do all of the math journal page problems by yourself today too. Once you have an answer, turn your video back on and we'll check your work. All right, let's check your work. First, I would have started by solving or multiplying my two whole numbers. 6 times 3 equals 18. Then I would have taken my whole number times my fraction. So 6 times 4/5. Put that 6 over 1, multiply my numerators, and then my denominators. There I have my improper fraction. I have to find out how many times does 5 go into 24? 5 can go into 24 4 times. Because 4 times 5 is 20, then there will be 4 left over, and my denominator stays 5. Now, I'm going to add my two products. From the first step, I had 18. From the second step, I had 4 and 4/5. So 18 plus 4 is 22. And then 4/5 for my fraction, for my total of 22 and 4/5. If you had 22 and 4/5 as your answer and you did it all by yourself without watching me or before you watched me, give yourself a pat on the back. You got it. All right, this is the end of part 2. In the next part, we will work on math journal pages.